Okay guys, welcome back to Timberborn. We have some interesting news developing from the last time we played. We have lost some footage. So we've lost footage from day 4 on cycle 6 right up to day 7. So we're going to have to load in from there and get back into it, see where we are. As we can see, the bad tide has started and it is getting into our mainstream a little bit. So I guess let's try and work this out and work out how we're going to fix this. Okay, because we do have bad water in here, we might just pump all our water out and see if we can get rid of it that way. I've already started building this wall higher. I knew this could have been a possibility. The way the water physics work on this game sometimes, it's just not ideal. I'm really worried about those because I don't want them getting contaminated. Yeah, sometimes they just do weird things. It would be perfectly fine for the wet season, and then all of a sudden it is not fine in a bad tide situation, and you end up flooding everything. Like, it definitely could have been worse, but we're gonna have to try and figure this out and get back on top of it. The beavers are cracking on with getting this done though. We're going to delete these stairs as well because they are special beavers that like to walk in contaminated water, even though they know they shouldn't. I know this kind of looks a bit disastrous at the moment. Everything's dying off. But it's not the worst. Yes, these berries probably aren't going to survive and we're probably going to have to start again with them. But we've also still got enough that are alive, and by the time they do die, we should be getting the normal water back through. Once we're back out of this chaos, we will get cranking on getting this dam done over here. Right, I've already got all that at high priority, which is good. So it's just a matter of sitting, waiting, and letting them go for a little bit. The other thought I did have, which I'm not sure will work, or maybe you guys have better thoughts, but was to dam up here so we can control the flow a little bit, and dam across here after we mine it out a little bit, so we can kind of just have the normal water going where we want it to, but also control the bad tide a bit more, because we don't want this situation to happen. This is not ideal. While we wait for this area to over here to fix itself up, we might look at accommodation. We are just starting to get to the point where we don't quite have enough workers, and there's always going to be a cycle where your workers die off and the new ones are born. So I like to try and keep like 10% extra beavers. Yeah, they might not be working all the time, but when they aren't, they're always ready to go. And there's our first contaminated little beaver after we put through the ground. As you can see, he is not a happy guy. He is not enjoying life. And I can't remember. No, we don't. We don't have any beds or well-being. So let's try and work that out before we do accommodation. Just trying to find the most non-annoying spot to put it. There. On the path. That's going to need gears. Okay, we have a gears workshop. We might high prioritize that so we can get that done a bit sooner. And to make the antidote, we're going to need berries, paper, and dandelions. So we are going to have to find an area to put them. Let's just think about this. We might put another forester over here. Get him to at least plant this area with dandelions. And I'm pretty sure I just read I need paper. Paper was definitely not on our checklist to do this early on. But we can add it to the stuff we need to get done at some point. Also guys, what I found kind of works best is if you have 2 plank makers for every gear factor we have, because we're going to use a lot of the gears up, the planks up just on gears, and it does become a bit annoying when we're having to backtrack all the time. I know we have a lot on the go at the moment building wise, but we're just going to let this play out a bit. We have enough food and water, and it looks like these log pumpers are going to clear most of this bad water out, which is good. It means it shouldn't affect us too much when it comes to being back to normal. Just going to change some priority on some of this stuff. But they're going pretty good. We end up with 2 contaminated beavers. Not really sure where the other one got contaminated at. But that is life, and we will deal with that moving forward. As you can see, we've almost made it through this bad tide. 1.2 days remaining. It's not going to harm us too much now. But what we will need to focus on is power. After we get this dam done down there, we're going to need the power wheels going, or while we're waiting on the power wheels, we might have to invest in some windmills. We just can't really afford to keep on putting down these power wheels and wasting our beavers. We've got too much to build and not enough beavers as it is. Okay, our gear workshop is up and running, so we will put a beaver in there, and now we're definitely short on beavers. We do have enough logs though, so we will look at doing some sort of housing over here. Might... is that too high? Might just do something like that for now, which is a good area to start with. And it'll give us area or room to expand on the other side. While we are doing that, we also might put down a couple of campfires. We also might put down a couple of campfires so they've got something to do. Remember to open up this so we have water again. Okay. And just like that, we're green, and they should be a lot happier. But now it's just a matter of managing our buildings, prioritizing what we need to prioritize, so probably first 3 of them and 1 of them, up in the priority of these guys, up in the priority of that, maybe just neutralizing this priority again, so they work on it. We might even high prioritize that area so they can start saving up a bit more water. At this stage we're getting to the amount of beavers where it gets a bit hard to manage them. I can go away from now. Like, they start using more resources than we can maintain with our starting equipment, so we're probably going to have to put in some bigger log pumpers soon and some bigger water storage. We might actually look at water storage now once we have some gears saved up. While we are waiting for this next drought to come and go, we might add a few more water storage, just so they've got something to do. This is all temporary, we can delete it at any stage. These are not end game solutions, these are just get in and survive. I don't think any of them will be finished before the drought hits, but I'm also hoping, really hoping, that we have enough water to get us through until that drought is over. It's going to be quite a bit. We'll just delete this path just so we get those water tanks done. Just stop them from going down there. And we seem to have a power issue at the moment. We might just build a couple of windmills. Just so they can help out with the power. It's not going to work all the time, but it's going to give us more power overall, which we're really lacking on. Pause this guy. Ooh. Okay, there's a whole extra bit. That's cool.
Nevada.
And we might high prioritize this builder's hut so they can try and get that done. And once this herbalist is done, we will pause the gears just so our planks are going for planks usage. Might work a bit harder as well. So how many of you guys out there play Timberborn, enjoy playing Timberborn? Just let me know. I think it's a great little city builder game with a lot to offer, and I don't know, it gives you something different every time you play it, which a lot of games don't do that. They're kind of very much same. Okay, looks like we're getting some logs built up. Definitely can't afford the underground storage yet, but we can just put a few more log storage in. This herbalist is really sucking a lot of gears out of us at the moment. We might have to just put in a power wheel just for short term, because we really don't have enough power. We're kind of not going anywhere real quick with it. Okay, the drought is about to finish, or the drought is about to start, I should say. As soon as that happens, we will close our doors are getting sucked out, so we close our gates. Turn off our pumpers. It's a 9-day drought, which by memory is about the same as the last drought. And we just survived that, so we're probably not going to have enough water. But we all know the trick for that. Now they got one of the houses built. We're really just waiting on gears at this stage. Gears and planks. Kind of in a bit of a bottleneck. As I was saying before I got really interrupted by running out of wood and water and logs and all the fun stuff. We might put in some campfires just to make these guys a bit happier. And it might get their production up a bit, which is never a bad idea. And it looks like we're using about 50 water, maybe 60 water a day. I'm no genius, but that's definitely not enough water to get us through. With our current water situation, we have two main things we can do. We can wait and see if we get through, or we can start up two of our pumpers, which we'll do, clearly. And we're going to risk running out of water because we have enough food. There's enough berries and hot potatoes around, even raw potatoes, to get us through. So we might go down that route for now. And hopefully that doesn't affect us too much. What's our priorities at the moment? They're just going to work on a bit of everything, I think, as they get materials. I was just going to let these guys walk down into here and build those, but we've seen what happened before. They don't really care about bad water. Well, they do when they get infected, but until they get infected, they just do what they want. Oh, and we have our first beaver. And I can focus. In here in medical bed. Which is always good. Okay, I'm going to pause that because I reckon if I pause that, let them actually just use planks so we can get more sleeping arrangements and they can get onto this power wheel and then go back to gears. They'll actually come through quicker. As much as that sounds like it shouldn't work like that, I think it will. We're going to drop how long they work for so they're not so whingy. And that brings us to the end of another exciting episode of Timberborn. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you stick around for the next one, and thanks for coming along.